Namaste. Welcome back to My Health Yoga's 365 Days of Healing. It is Greg here. There is so much happening at the moment. It is a really interesting time to be alive. I think today I want to share a couple of my own thoughts and a couple of interesting downloads that have come through in the last few days, particularly to help those of you who are feeling a little bit lost or who are feeling perhaps the waves, the chaotic waves of energy that are pulsating us here on Earth at this time. We must remember, and it's vital to remember even more than normal, that we are moving through a astrological transition. Earth is moving through an astrological transition. So as much as it's important at this time to do your regular rituals, your breath work, meditation, asana, journaling, chanting, walking, mindfulness, everything that we do as spiritual beings, in the background of our consciousness, we must also remember that the very framework with which we base our spiritual beliefs and our reality here in this hologram is shifting. Now, that's everything in terms of how we perceive our perception of our reality, but also how we believe our own emotions, our own reality is in the background. So it's almost as if not only is the tree changing, but the roots are changing and the earth underneath the tree is changing as well. So one easy way to do this, or I should say one simple way to do this, is to use an affirmation each and every morning. Today is a new day, and I am ready to absorb the new energy of this time. Something simple like that. Or perhaps, I am excited for the changes that are unfolding. I trust that Earth will guide me. Remember, at the moment, it's really easy to fall into that victim template, to step into that place of this is out of my control, I don't have a choice. But remember, all of our choices come from a framework, come from a reality or a system, which at the moment is changing. So yes, occasionally it feels like we may be getting forced into a corner, but the very powers that are starting to force us will soon no longer be the same. They won't be able to hold us any longer. And that's simply because of this transitionary phase that Earth is going through. So affirmations in the morning will help because they will remind you, remember, the first thing that you meditate on in the morning serves as your framework for the rest of the day. So that's why I always say affirmations first thing in the morning are going to help. The other important thing, which I've noticed myself with my clients here at work, with my students, is to limit your time online. Even if you do, as I do, curate your social media portals quite carefully, at the moment, even those of us who are quite spiritually minded are still moving through some really intense waves. Plus, whenever you visit the virtual space, you open up to those people who can come into your energy. Even if their intentions are good, asking you questions when you don't feel grounded is enough to pull you out of your power space and back into that space of victim. So at the moment, the less time in the virtual world, the better. Remember, because Earth is moving through a transition, we must be grounded. The best way to do that is to be outside, shoes off, watching the sun, watching the moon, watching the clouds, listening to your breath, and having that trust. So let's finish off our little healing session today with a oracle card draw. This is for anyone who is watching here with me. We're going to do 3 cards today. So the first one that's coming through is Commander Ashtar. So Commander Ashtar comes through to show us that we are in power over force. We are able to guide our own galactic journey here on planet Earth. Interestingly, Commander Ashtar is all about leading by example. You can see it there. And this is exactly what we are being asked to do in our own reality, not even for our family, our friends, our students, but just for ourselves, to lead by example with our soul. What example do you want to set for your soul energy? So read more about Commander Ashtar if that card calls to you. Second one for today. Let's have a look. Hopefully it's the right way around. Yes, we have Lady Venus. Okay, so Lady Venus comes through as a voice for sacred femininity. Venus, the planet which governs activism and releases anger in a healthy way. So Venus is here to show us that Earth no longer chooses to hold onto that negative feminine frequency, which really existed for the past 2,000 years. The last 2,000 years have been, well, the Piscean age of that pyramid structure, that masculine energy which sought to steal energy from the feminine, and Earth is reclaiming this. So Lady Venus shows us that the truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from the astral realm. And she is a very, very powerful feminine warrior, and she is there to voice her truth. So that's a really powerful card at this time, because someone just said it to me before. One of my lovely friends who reached out to me this morning just said, you know, we must trust that the truth will always prevail. Now, of course, true, false is a little bit of a 4D concept. But when we talk about truth here in the 3D, what we mean is the love frequency, the peace frequency. That is the truth, and that is what will prevail. So that's Lady Venus. If she calls to you, please feel free to channel her or look her up a little bit more. Last one for today is going to be, okay, you can't make this up. Paul the Venetian. Paul the Venetian is my channel. That's my guide. Interesting that he's the last one that chose to come through today. Paul the Venetian, I channel Paul the Venetian. I believe I actually was him in another life, but Paul the Venetian comes through to remind us that at our core, we are all human. At our core, we are here on this human plane to have a rich experience. So Paul was in charge, or his template was in charge of a lot of cultural and artistic pursuits. He was Venetian, so he was around in that really beautiful time of rich tapestries and culture and the arts and trade. However, he, as an ascended master, he comes through to show us that we must have a fair energy exchange. We must always give and receive. So perhaps at the moment, if you are feeling a little victimized, just remind yourself that this is a karmic journey. You are paying off karmic debts. And at this time, all you need to do is hold your space and keep connecting with your soul as much as possible. I hope this has been a nice chat. Of course, it's always healing for us here at My Health when we get the opportunity to help you. And we thank you for joining us as we continue to move through our 365 days of healing. Namaste.